Hello and welcome to the tutorial, how to create a container in the JENTIS DCP. Before you can use your JENTIS Tag Manager, short JTM, it is crucial that you create a container. This container is the direct connection between your website domain and JENTIS. Once created, you can start adding and customize your individual tracking tool, for example Google Analytics 4. Let's configure your first container. As you can see, our Assistant is structured in 5 easy steps. You can pause the Assistant at any time and come back to it later. Domain. The first step is to define the domain that you would like to connect with the container. Please enter your domain without a suffix like http// or www. An example of a correct domain name could be example.com. This step is mandatory since it is the basic foundation for your JENTIS setup. JENTIS also gives you the opportunity to add a test domain for testing and previewing. If you have such a setup, you can add the preview domain address here. If not, please re-enter your main domain in this field. Give your container a descriptive name. Since you will have to select your container at various stages of the process, please give your container a recognizable name. Our best practice tip. Are you using different domains for different countries, like example.at, example.ch, or example.nl? Use the name of your domain as the name of the container, since each domain requires a dedicated container and should be named appropriately. The advantage of having dedicated containers for each domain is that you can configure your current tool like Google Analytics 4 to the specific container. This avoids having to reinstall the same tool in different iterations. Tracking setup. Now that you have done the first steps for a container setup, it is time to build the bridge between your website and the JTM on the technical side. In this section, we provide you with the necessary JavaScript snippet that you have to implement on each of your pages. All your entries from the previous step have already been dynamically incorporated in this snippet. If you can't implement this code by yourself, please provide this script to your technician. Our best practice tip. For the best tracking experience, please place the snippet in the head section of your website as your first script. Single-page application. Lastly, you can also implement the JavaScript snippet in a single-page application, SPA. In this case, you will have to manually tell JENTIS to trigger a page view on each site. Please follow the instructions mentioned here. If you have any questions regarding this setup, please consult our documentation or contact our customer support at support@jentis.com. Now that you have included the JavaScript snippet on your website, you can mark your option as done and proceed to the next step. DNS setup. Since JENTIS is a first-party tool, it must become part of your main tool stack, just like your content management system, CMS. Please fill out a DNS record to your hosting settings with the information on this page. After you are finished, mark this task as done. Consent bar. If you are using a consent bar or consent management platform, CMP, please select it from the drop-down menu. This step is optional. Summary. Now that you have completed all the necessary steps to set up a JTM container, please perform a final check on all your entries. You can see your text and status inputs of each step in this overview. Want to make an edit? Jump directly to a certain section of the Assistant by clicking on the Edit Step function. Please verify that all your entries are correct and all mandatory technical implementations have been performed on your side before proceeding. Once you verify that you have done everything correctly up till now, please click on Create Container. Congratulations, the container has been created. You can find your new container setup under Settings and Containers. Thank you for following along with this tutorial. Please continue with the video, How to Set Up a Tool in the JENTIS DCP. If you have any questions regarding this tutorial or how to configure your container setup, Please feel free to visit our documentation or get in touch with our customer support under support@jentis.com.